Hi ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to work on determining the missing part in a 2D object. So we're given the area or the perimeter and we're trying to find the length, the width, the height, the radius, something that they're asking for. So we're just going to combine our geometry with a little bit of algebra. Let's quickly review just finding the perimeter of a circle. Again, perimeter meaning the distance around the outside, circle, so I have my circle, radius meaning halfway across the circle, my radius of 9. Remembering that perimeter means the same thing as circumference, and our formula for circumference was pi times diameter, where diameter, if we remember, radius is halfway across the circle, and diameter is all the way across the circle. So we know we have the 3.14 from the pi, and the diameter we would need to figure out what is the distance all the way across the circle. Well, if halfway was 9, this other half is 9. Add them together to give me a diameter of 18. So we're just going to put that 18 right in here for the diameter. Multiply those two numbers together, and you get an answer of 59.66. We need a label. Our label is centimeters. We're just going around the outside so it's not squared. Okay, so that's just a quick review on circumference or the perimeter of a circle. Those two words are synonyms for each other. Calculate the height of the triangle with the area 72 inches squared and a base of 6. So I'm going to draw myself a triangle, any kind of triangle you want. I'm going to go with the right triangle so I have the 90-degree angle right away. I know that the area, so that's the inside, is 72 inches squared. And I know that the base, or my bottom, is 6 inches. So I'm going to reflect back to yesterday and our formulas we had. I know the area formula for triangle is 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to fill in the information I know. I know that the A is 72. They told me that right here. 1/2 is just a number. I can keep that there. I know that the base is 6. And the height is what I'm trying to find. That's my h. Okay. So now you're just going to do some algebra to solve for that h. So I'm going to combine these terms right here. 1/2 times 6 is 3. Bring everything else down. Whoops, that's 72, sorry. Now if I look between my 3 and my h, I see that they're multiplying. In order to undo multiplication, I just need to divide. H 72 divided by 3 will give me 24. Okay. So that's h stood for height, so that just goes right back up here for the height of your triangle. If you'd like to check it, you're more than welcome to do that, knowing that it should be 1/2 base times height, giving you 1/2 times 6 times 24. Multiply all those to get 72 inches squared, which checks out. That's the area we wanted. Okay, so we're just using those formulas. Step 1 is to decide what is the formula. Step 2 is to write in that information you know about the formula. And step 3 is to use your algebra to solve for the part you're missing. So let's look at another one. Calculate the radius. This one I gave you the circumference and the area. You only need to use one of them. You can choose. I'm going to show you both. Let's start with circumference. So I know the circumference, so I think about my circumference formula as pi times d. Now I'm going to fill in what I know. I know that c is 25.12. It told me that right here. I know that pi is 3.14, and my mystery is d. Okay, I'm going to solve for d. They were multiplying by 3.14, so I'm going to do the opposite of that, and I'm going to divide. And I get 8. Now I need to remember again, D is all the way across the circle, R is halfway across the circle. So this 8 is telling me the distance all the way across the circle. But the question asked for the r, so the question asked for what was half of that. So that means half of 8 is 4, making our radius 4. Let's use the area formula and see if we get the same answer. If I think about the area of a circle, I think about my formula for area. That's pi r squared. The area is 50.24. I get that right here. I know that pi is 3.14, and I don't know r yet. Okay. Now I'm going to use my algebra. I'm going to divide by that 3.14. And I'm going to get 16 equals r squared. Okay, r is almost by itself. It just has this little squared on it. In order to get rid of that, the opposite of squaring something is the square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides, knowing that these two will cancel then, leaving me with just r equals 4, which is what we got in the circumference. Either formula works. Whatever one you're more comfortable with, you can use. Let's try one where I give you the perimeter. So I want you to find the value of x, knowing that the perimeter of this rectangle is 32. Okay, so I think about the perimeter of a rectangle as adding all the sides together. So I know that my perimeter is going to equal this side, 12.5, plus this side, which is the same as the other side, which happens to be x, plus this side, which is the same as the top, 12.5, plus this last side, which is x. Okay, so I got my formula started here a little. I want to change the p to what is the perimeter. The perimeter, they told me right here, is 32. I'm going to combine some like terms. I'm going to combine these guys together to give me 15. And I'm going to combine these guys together to give me 2x. Okay. I've done my step 1. I've used my formula to come up with an equation. And now I'm trying to find the mystery. I'm trying to find that x. Okay, I'm going to solve for x. I need to get rid of this 15 first. Minus him on both sides. Gives me 17. And over here I'm just left with 2x. Last step is to get rid of that 2. So we divide both sides by 2. And x equals 8.5. 8.5 what? X was right here, so this becomes 8.5 centimeters. Does that, now we want to check and make sure that answers the question. The question is, what is the value of x? The value of x is 8.5. Again, if you wanted to check now, adding all your sides together, 12.5 plus 8.5 plus 12.5 plus 8.5, they should give you 32 to make sure on your check. If you're feeling confident about this and would like to try one on your own right now, you're welcome to stop and try this one on your own. See if you can raise your hand, see if you get the correct answer. If you're not comfortable trying this one on your own yet and you'd like a couple more examples, continue to play the video and I'll show you a couple more examples and then we'll come back to the one you need to try on your own. Next example, find the side length of this square. I know it's a square because I have these little red marks ticks here, and these ticks tell me that these two sides are the same. Okay, so I have the area, so I'm thinking about my formula for area of a square. The formula is length times width. Okay, now I'm going to fill in what I know. I know the area is 104.04. I don't know the length and I don't know the width, but I do know that they're the same. So I'm going to call them x for now, since they're the same. So I get x times x. Simplify my problem a little here. I have 104.04 equals x times x gives me x squared. Okay, now I'm trying to find x because I'm trying to figure out how long this side is. So I need to undo this square. The opposite of squaring something is the square root. So I'm going to do that to both sides. Those guys cancel, leaving me with just the x. And I need to take the square root of 104.04. and I get 10.2. So I'm thinking that my side length is 10.2 because that's what the value of x is. To check to make sure, I know that the area should equal the length, 10.2, times the width, 10.2, and that gives me 104.04. So that checks out. Okay. Let's look at another one. Last one we'll do together. Determine the length of the base. I've given you the area and the perimeter of the triangle again, so I'm going to again show you both. You only need to do one. I'm going to start with the area. I think back to my notes. My area, the formula is area equals 1/2 times the base times the height, where the base and the height are coming from your right angle, whatever two sides make up your right angle. Plug in the information I know. I know the area is 12.75. 1/2 is just a number. The base right here on the bottom, that's what I'm trying to find, so I'm going to leave that B in there. And I have a height of 3. Simplify my problem out a little here. I have 12.75 still. I can multiply these two, because we can multiply in any order. So 1/2 times 3 is 1.5, and I still have that base. Now in order to get the base by itself, I need to get rid of that 1.5. I notice that they're multiplying, so I'm going to divide, giving me B equals 8.5. So that's what I'm thinking the base is, 8.5. You can plug it back into the formula to check, or you can use the perimeter. I know that the perimeter is all of the sides added together. So I have this side of 3 plus this side of 8 plus this bottom that I technically don't know yet, so I'm going to call x. Told me the perimeter right here is 19.5, so I'm going to plug that in. I'm going to combine these like terms right here to give me 11. And then I'm going to solve for x. I need to get the x by itself, so I need to get rid of that 11. So I'm going to minus it on both sides, and I get x equals 8.5, which was the same as the area, so it must be correct. Okay. Try this one on your own now. Check with Miss P for your answer and to get tonight's homework. Thank you.